Hello, welcome back to the Duel Ages 2 Triad25 campaign. This is turn number 7, and I am your host, Craig Thompson Wood. We are starting off today with the part of the episode I like to call, What Did I Screw Up Last Time? So there was actually a few things I did get wrong last time. Some of them I did notice during the editing process and things. I made notes during the final showing. So if you watched turn 6 already, you will have seen maybe little speech bubbles popping up to say, oh, I forgot this, I messed up this. So actually, let's just sort of address those things. So like one I talked about was the whole issue with Bill Hickok. He shouldn't have received the sniper rifle from Karina Karlsdottir because she couldn't give it to him when Sheridan was in her space, right? She can't share objects with friends or allies when there's an enemy in her space. So that would not have happened. So to that end then, following up on that, Bill Hickok would have fired the compression rifle at Reaver Mark 7. And so looking at the cards that were played, it hit still. The compression rifle is a higher power rating. So it would have actually have done +1 damage. So instead of it wouldn't have done 1 damage, it would have done 2. Now the sniper rifle hit, it only did 3. But so in the end, it means that Reaver Mark 7 took 1 less wound in total. So he's at 3 wounds taken with 4 wounds left. The next thing that I didn't notice until after was the fact when Sheridan had attacked Karina Karlsdottir, he had an active experience marker boosting all his stats, and I had hit the stat of his power to 3. And that meant that he hit her quite hard. He hit her for 4 damage because look at the tomahawk. The tomahawk does 3 damage, right? He was hitting her with that. But I boosted the power when I shouldn't have. So when you look back at the card that was used, it was on the cusp there. So the +1 power that I gave the power to the tomahawk gave +1 damage. So in actuality, she should only have had 3 damage because you can't use the experience marker to boost the damage on the tomahawk, only on the natural melee attack. So she has only 3 wounds out of 5. So she's not as badly off as we'd once thought. But aside from that, I think everything else was done properly, so we can continue. So here we go with Team White. So looking at Team White, the free action phase, there is nothing going to happen. Nobody has anything that they can do in the free action phase. So we are just going to proceed right on to the fire phase. And looking at the fire phase, again, Team White has nothing with which they can fire. So we're going to move right on to the move phase. Going in order of respect, we start off with Dr. Panopoulos, and I considered running Panopoulos around to try and come in through the open gate here, but the problem is that Bill Hickok still is able to shoot at him. Now, I mean, Reaver Mark 7 could move in here. I don't know if that would necessarily stop Panopoulos. I think, all this is done simultaneously, so I think even as he's running around, Hickok could shoot him before as Reaver Mark 7 is jumping onto him. Now, actually, on the subject of Reaver Mark 7 jumping onto him, I did think about it, because right there, he could come down here, and he's got the 2 juicy targets of Karina Karlsdottir and Sheridan, both very wounded, could maybe take out one of them, because, he'd be fighting one at a time. But, in consult, I talked to my brother about it, and he also plays the game and been watching, and he thinks that is the better move. Bill Hickok is just too much of a threat up there to be allowed to continue. So, if he can't kill Bill Hickok in hand-to-hand combat here, at least just get him out of there, get him moving, get him running, because he's just such a nuisance up there. He's just so powerful up on that spot with the guns that he has and the potential of a sniper rifle too. So, off to Bill Hickok. But I think, so Panopoulos is just going to stay there. I think running around, Hickok would still be able to shoot him. Ace Cannon. I think Ace and Benedict Arnold have had enough of Ancient 911 here, so they're running into here. And so I think we're going to send Benedict Arnold there, and we only have Benedict Arnold, and we'll put ace cannon there. All right, so they're coming down to the Colonial Labyrinth, and Benedict Arnold is going to take on the Count 10 turn and fire, which he's going to be very good at, and then ace cannon is going to take on a new one. I really would like to see Benedict Arnold, get an amaze result, because then that's going to erase the two traitor tokens he has here. If he gets 4, he's going to turn and join Team White, which is going to be a disaster. Sorry, turn and join Team Black, which would be a disaster for Team White because they've already lost Sheridan, plus they've lost one of the Leah Vestries. So they're really kind of hurting right now for their numbers. Okay, so that's those two. And Robin Hood was over here. And so move this up. And he is going to use his 6 movement and try and go into the Ancient Labyrinth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it doesn't quite make it, but making progress towards his intended location. And then Leah Vestry, she's here. I mean, she could come down and try and kill Karina Karlsdottir, but let me pull up her card here. You see, she's really not much of a combatant. She's better at avoiding trouble with, she's got good react, good stealth, but not really good at taking on people hand to hand. Now she does have these cards here. There's all cards with fully healed. So she could release the Hawk and maybe, but I don't think she can do that now while in the dome. I think she'd have to be out of the dome, but that may be something she can consider in the future and then send that as a nuisance tool. So, but for now, I think she just needs to try and get into a safe spot. So she has a movement of 7, and she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think she's pretty safe there. Don't want to go anywhere where like Bill Hickok can shoot or anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So running through the tunnels, and we'll be safe there, I should think. And then Reaver Mark 7, as you saw, already going after his intended target of Bill Hickok. And so that concludes the movement for Team White. So now we go on to the Opfire phase. In Opfire, there is nobody that can shoot. Bill Hickok cannot shoot at Reaver Mark 7 because you have to shoot you can't shoot at the space they start in, and you can't shoot in your own space. And so if you can only so when Reaver Mark 7 went from here to here, it was too late. Bill Hickok could no longer shoot at him, so he's trapped. And so then anybody else who has a weapon, like Karina Karlsdottir, doesn't see anybody moving. She wouldn't have seen Leah Vestry moving up there. And nobody else has any guns or anything to shoot, so that is it for the Opfire. So melee. We're going to the melee phase. And so for melee, we have the 1 melee happening with this, the big one. This is what Reaver Mark 7 was set out to do. So we have Reaver Mark 7 versus Bill Hickok. So let's pull up their cards. So Bill Hickok has a wits of 5. Reaver Mark 7 has a wits of 5. So in this case, it is the team whose turn it is goes first. So Reaver Mark 7 actually gets to fight first here. So Reaver Mark 7 has a combat or melee of 6, and Bill Hickok has a react of 5. So it is going to be an attacker better by 1. An attacker better by 1 is a hit. Now we look at the penetrate of Reaver Mark 6. Reaver Mark 7 is a 6 power versus an armor of 2. So it's an attacker better by 4. Attacker better by 4 is +1 damage, and he does a whopping 3 damage on his thing. Bill Hickok only has 4 life, so that's it. Bill Hickok is dead. So Reaver Mark 7 did what he needed to do. Now, they have the option to imprison Bill Hickok. Now, the thing with imprisoning Bill Hickok is you have an Ulf who's in the base already here. So if we scroll back, so there's an Ulf. She could come down and release him right away. So that is going to be a bad thing, especially with the Wasp that they have, this Wasp card that allows them to get bonuses on things. So you know what? I think that's just going to be it. I think Reaver Mark 7 has just squashed Bill Hickok dead. He is gone. And so we will put... he had the revealed compression rifle and thorn grenades. So we will put those in the space there. He cannot pick those up because they have to be picked up in a free action phase, but he will be able to pick those up afterwards. And he can actually use that. Looking at Reaver Mark 7's card again here, he's actually really good with that compression rifle. So he's going to make some really good use of that. So Reaver Mark 7 just became a new force to be dealt with. This is bad news for Team Black. Okay, so that was it for the melees. We go on to now the adventuring. For adventuring, we have the 2 adventures happening. So come up here. And the first one is this card here, which I'll put up on the screen. Count to 10, turn and fire. Defend your Louisiana, sir. And we have Benedict Arnold attempting this one. So he has a, so you see the challenge is 5 point. He has an 8. This is one of his best stats. And he matches the symbol. He matches the age. So he has a total of 10 points to the 5. So it's an attacker better by 5. So can he erase all of his traitorous thoughts? Attacker better by 5 is not quite enough. He has passed it, but he didn't get the amaze that they were hoping for. So it's attacker better by 5 is a pass. And that reads, a bullet to the shoulder takes the starch out of him. So he removes the black token from there. So Team Black does not have that labyrinth anymore. He gains a card, and we'll give him a common card. And he gains, how appropriate, a volley gun. So the volley gun says, a flint and steel predecessor to the shot-off shotgun. The volley gun is a shortened military version of a bird hunter's blunderbuss. And he actually gets +1 to hit with that. So he had the strength and intelligence for it anyway, but this, even if he didn't, he'd be able to use it because of his proficiency with that weapon. Perfect. And he is then dismissed. So he is dismissed to a blue dome. So the blue dome's available. Well, there's only one blue dome available, and that's right there. So that's where he's going. All right, it's nice for Team White to finally get some kind of range weapon. They've been missing out on all the fire phases and op fire and all that stuff. Okay, so now Ace Cannon is going to take on a new Colonial Labyrinth challenge. So he's in there. He's going to try and put another token on the board for Team White, as well as helping Benedict Arnold gain +1 to his adventuring challenges. If, getting onto that path anyway. So the challenge is roof hopping in Madrid. The thief who raided the sacred vaults of Her Majesty is just 2 rooftops ahead. So it's a 5 react challenge, and Ace Cannon has a 6. He does not match any of the symbols, does not match the age. So it is simply attacker better by 1. And an attacker better by 1 is pass. He's done it. So we can put in another white token down there. So big turn for Team White. So pass says, cornered and exhausted, the thief begs for mercy. So you add the symbol, which I did already. He gets 1 card. We'll go again, common card. I really would like to get a bow for Robin Hood. That would be ideal. Not a bow. We get a longsword. So longsword. So I don't think that really... Oh, actually, Benedict Arnold is also good with that. That's also a very good weapon for him. Benedict Arnold has the proficiency in this type of weapon. So, but Ace Cannon has it. And Ace Cannon is strong enough and smart enough to use it. And so then he is dismissed and goes to a Black Dome. So Black Dome, you know what? I'm just going to pop him right back up there. Whee! So he's up there. He's going to go back and try again. Try and finish off that challenge and give Benedict Arnold more opportunities to give another +1 to advance him, to help him get rid of his trader tokens. And I believe that is going to be it. Oh, actually, no, sorry. There's one more adventuring. Poor old Dr. Panopolis. He's kind of washed up and useless now. So he's going to try his very best to break into the thing again. So it's a 7 versus 7. It's a his respective 7 versus the 7 respect on the thing here. Is attacker better by 0? And no, the gate still does not respect him enough to let him in. So he's stuck outside. But at least next time maybe he can start running around and come in that way. Because that one's wide open for him. And there's no more Bill Hickok to worry about. All right, so that is going to be it for Team White. Quite a big turn for them. Let's go on to Team Black and see what they can do. Doing some contemplation here, and I think I have things worked out in my mind, what I want to do for Team Black. And so free action phase, I don't have any free actions that actually, no, that's not true. First obvious one is he's going to pick up the thing here from that Leah Vestry had dropped when he threw the grenade at her. So he's getting all of her cards here. So he picks up the cards and is able to look at them. So the armor, which he is strong enough and smart enough to use. No bonuses, but it helps, right? Gives him 5 armor instead of 1, because he's bare-chested after all. And then a horse, which he's, again, strong enough and smart enough to use. So that's going to add, that could give him +1 to his movement. He doesn't have the horse thing there, +1 speed, so he's only going to get the 8. He currently has a 7. Going to the labyrinth. So he's got those cards. And then for, like, there are a number of people. There's Commodore Blaylock, Christina Karlsdottir, and Sheridan all have experience markers. None of them are going to use it right now. I don't think any of them need to use it. Corinna Karlsdottir has the sniper rifle, which uses the aim symbol. She is actually going to give that to Sheridan. He is better with that, and now that they are in love, she doesn't mind sharing with him. His combat is 6, hers is 5. She already has a 3 penetrate, so he's still better with the tomahawk. You know, the tomahawk increases his damage while keeping the penetrate power the same. That is it for the free action phase. So let's go right on to the firing phase. In the firing phase, we have some guns on Team Black, but nobody to shoot at. So there's nobody that can be shot at. So we're just going to, well, no, actually, I guess here to Panopolis. I don't know that we can see him there, so we're just going to leave that. I mean, not just because I'm thinking that this might be in the way. So I'm just going to leave that one. And there's nobody else that is, you know, we got her in the tunnels and things. So I think we're going to leave it with the shooting and go straight on to the movement phase. So in the movement phase, I'm going to just converge everybody on the, not everybody, I'm going to converge the 3 over here onto the colonial site. So Blaylock has a movement of 6. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Melina Arabato has a movement of 7. So coming over here, she's here, and she's going to come to the futuristic labyrinth. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm thinking if I can pull that out and slow down Reaver Mark 7, that's going to be huge. Agent 911 is going to come down here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to try and remove that marker that Ace Cannon just put in there. And Karina Karlsdottir. Now, this is something I actually had to look up, and I wasn't quite sure about, because all the pink space in here, I thought, well, maybe I can slip between that space there and come down to the black base and try and go for some healing or something. But in the rule book, I found this passage. I'll just put up on the thing here, and it says that every hex has one and only one terrain type. So the fact that this is mostly the blue, that is definitely a deep water space, and that is definitely a mesa space, so that I cannot go in between those two, which is a shame, because this makes this really restrictive on this in the mesas. It's really tough to kind of get around all that unless you have flight or swimming or something, which we don't. So Karina and Sheridan are going to run for it, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Karina's going to go 7. So they're coming there and there. You know what? As I think about it more, like, so Sheridan could go +1 and go onto the space with her. Just with Benedict Arnold there, I mean, I want to be careful about. Yeah, you know what? I am going to. I was so focused on the threat of Reaver Mark 7, I wasn't even really thinking the threat that Benedict Arnold presents. And, I mean, he could take out one of the two people here. He's quite good in combat. If we bring back a third, I mean, it would really discourage him. The thing is, he knows that they have a sniper rifle, the two here. Well, he knows that Sheridan has it. So even if he tries to run, it's probably not going to end well for Benedict Arnold. So he's going to probably have to. But then if we put a third one here, is it going to discourage him from fighting, or are we just wasting our time bringing a third fighter into the mix? I think it's better to have the insurance. We're going to bring Sven the Netmender back and make a pal there. Now, that does mean, actually, so in the free action phase, I would have used Sheridan's experience marker, because otherwise he only had a 6 movement. He wouldn't have made it to that spot. So he needed to make the experience marker to keep everybody together. Otherwise, I could have kept everybody down here without using the experience marker. But I think with Benedict Arnold, the threat there, I'd rather have that experience marker, giving him an extra chance to hit. So he's extra deadly now. So we will stick it at that. So the experience marker was used by Sheridan. So that's everybody there gone. So we just have Diaz Elgato, and the Ulfs. So Elgato is over here. Now he just picked up those things from the Fallen Vestry. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, he had lots of movement to get into there. He's going to join Milena Arabato, sorry. He's going to join her to help ensure that, like, 1, maybe we can just pull that token right out. 2, just next to a little bit of insurance to try and slow down Reaver Mark 7, who is I guess Panoplis, but what's really Panoplis? What threat does he pose right now? And then we have the Ulfs. So we have 3 Ulfs currently on the board. So we will move Ulf number 1 over here. And she has a movement of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try and keep some thing there, just in case anybody gets any funny ideas of shooting at her. Doesn't really make much difference at this point. And that's Ulf number 1. Ulf number 2 is over here. So they have the cards. So she has a couple stabbies and a thing she can go through cavern walls, ignoring walls if she wanted to. She doesn't even have to go through the secret passage. So, you know what? I think actually I'm going to retroactively do that. That is interesting. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the phase cube, being done in the free action phase, and she can ignore all terrain, including cavern walls and domes for movement this turn. Oh, All terrain. I was just seeing it as the cavern walls, but she could just run over water too. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so she's going to use that phase cube. And as much as I was thinking going here, doing stuff with Lith, at this point, I was also thinking maybe trying to get her to banish Reaver Mark 7, but nah. He is what he is now, right? It could actually end up being worse. Like he could come to like a yellow or a red or something. It was red. No, I guess I could put him over here. Anyway, so I'm going to just do this. She's moving to 6, and she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Hey, Robin Hood, how's it going? She's going to move right in there and try and push that black token right down and give the Sven the Netmender +1 to hit, right? Because he's the only ancient character on the black team. But hey, let's just keep that token secured in there. Keep that labyrinth point in there. And then the last elf. The last elf is down here, and her best stat is intelligence, so she's going to come down to the HQ thing. No, you know what? We're gonna do the surefire thing. We're just gonna bust the gate here. You know, use the adventuring and just pay one more card and bust the gate, make it wide open for people to walk in, should they choose. All right, so that's gonna be it. And so that is it for the movement. Op fire. There is no op firing because the only, well, still nobody on the, well, the only one with the gun on the team white right now is Benedict Arnold, and he's in a dome. So we go on to melee, and there is no melee currently. So right down to adventuring. So we'll start by respect level. So Commodore Blaylock is not adventuring. Melina Arabato is adventuring. She's down here in the futuristic labyrinth. It is a new one, so I'll just cut the deck, pull a card out, and this is the card. Bowgun Wrestling. Sure, bowguns are fat, slow, and stupid, but they're the only entertainment in New Iowa. Okay, so it's a 3 strength challenge, and Melina Arabato does not match either of the symbols, nor does she match the age. She is strong, though, very strong. She's a 6 strength versus a 3, so it's an attacker better by 3. An attacker better by 3 is a pass. So she has successfully completed this and pulls that token back and gets 1 card. So she is going to take a secret. She gets a secret card and she gets a trident. So trident, she obviously not good with that, not proficient with that, but she is strong enough and smart enough to use it. So she can stab people. And that's done. Then she is dismissed, and she goes to a red dome. So red dome. Hey, Panopolis, how's it going? She's going to come down there because her other option would be over here, and I think we're good there. I think, you know, coming down here, maybe she can come and try and heal some of the black base. You know, fix some things there, and certainly fix the infestation that they've got. All right, and then the next adventuring, and the last adventuring, no, not the last adventuring, next adventuring, in order of respect, would actually be Agent 911. So Agent 911 over there, it's a new colonial challenge. Here's the card. It says, Wellington refuses his left. Can you outmaneuver the armies of the British commander who defeated Napoleon? So it's a 6 wits with a symbols that Agent 911 does not match. He does not match anything, and he's only got a 1 wits. He's pretty witless. So it is a defender better by 5. But let's pull up his card again. Looking at the bottom here, on a hit or adventure, you check the luck. On a 7, it's an automatic amaze. So does he fumble his way into a success here? So it is a defender better by 5. Defender better by 5 is a fail, but it is a 7. It is a 7, so he's done it. He is amazed. Somehow he did it. Outnumbered, encircled, his army's devastated. Wellington lays down his sword. So he gets 2 cards. Now he's actually going to take, because when you have the 2 cards, you can, instead of getting 2 common, 2 secret, or 1 of each, you can trade in 2 for 1 for the elite cards. He's going to go elite, and he gets a Velociraptor. Between cartoon bombs and Velociraptors, he is really kind of goofy. So he's got a Velociraptor. He's not strong enough or smart enough to do it, though. So he'll have to find somebody who can do that. Sheridan can. Yeah, looks like Sheridan's our man for that one. Have to get this to Sheridan. All right. And then the token is removed. And then, looking at the card again here, the Labyrinth card has the 3 and the 7. So that is the honor rating on the card. And so looking at Agent 911's honor, we see it is a 7. So he's getting 2 cards worth of bonuses. So the first one says, draw 1 common card for your vault. Okay, so because he gets the 3 and the 7 because the thing's a 7. So 1 common card for the vault. Now Panopolis is licking his lips. Oh boy. And he gets a battle axe. Okay, so that goes into the vault there. And then the second card. Oh, the second challenge card. So the honor thing says, heal 1 health if wounded. And he's not wounded, so that one was just a waste, but hey, it was free anyway. And finally, he's dismissed, and he goes to a red dome. Now, I think all the red domes are... oh, no, they're not. So he's the red dome, the only one available is right here. So he's taking that. Wow. The Agent 911's been really hilarious this game. So then our final challenge adventure is Diaz Al Gato down here. Oh, not true. I still have an Ulf up there. Sorry, let's do the Ulf before I forget her again. Going, because it's an order of respect. So the Ulf is up there. She's doing the Ancient Challenge. And it is Mage School. Today you will be learning to balance the elements of fire and water. So she does not match the symbols. She does not match the age. But it is a 4 intelligence challenge to her 8 intelligence. So it is an attacker better by 4. So attacker better by 4 is an amaze. Wow, another amaze. Good thing Benedict Arnold's not on this team. And so an amaze says, pull up the card again. No wonder no one has ever produced a blazing water storm before until now. So she pushes this down. She gets 1 card and she will take a secret card. And she gets Guardian of the Gate. To set up the Sentinel, must use all your movement points to set up in space. Beyond the 3rd doors, the Great Hall of Thune, there stands an imposing statue, 1 purpose and will. But before the statue lies burned and crushed bodies of all imprudent thieves. So she can set this thing up, and it has... do some protection. Sweet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards they have. So she has 5 cards. That's their limit now. That's their limit. And then the next Ulf. Oh, right. There's another Ulf too. So anyway, so she has to be dismissed. She is going to a yellow dome. So the yellow domes are up there, 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 and there. I think she would do well to go to this one over here. And that way she's futuristic. She can, oh, and you know what? That was an amaze. That means that another Ulf is placed. Let's look at her card again. Her card says, on an amaze adventure by any Ulf, a new Ulf appears at the HQ. There's a maximum of 6 Ulfs. So that was an amaze. So she goes into the HQ. Kind of makes me wonder, too, if they busted the HQ, if they got in here and busted the HQ, would that stop the Ulfs from showing up? And then the honor thing says on a 5 and a 9 on the honor, she can get more abilities, but she only has a 3 honor. So that is it for her. She's done. Okay. Then the other Ulf is down here, And as I said, they had a bunch of cards. They were at their limit, but now we are going to sacrifice one of these cards. I think we will get rid of the stiletto knife. So the stiletto knife is gone, and that means this is then busted here. And she is dismissed to a green dome. The green domes, 2 are here, and 1 is over here. Over here. So we will, let's just have an off station over here. Just fly over that way. Okay, and now we go on to Diaz El Gato down here. So Diaz El Gato is going to try to remove that white token altogether from that space. And this is his challenge. Fending off clogs. Sounds like plumbing work. Clogs, cruel, odorous enemies of all galactic decency, descend on your planet. So it is a 6-point challenge. He does not match the symbols. He does not match the age, and he has only a 4-point. So it is a defender better by 2. And defender better by 2 says, womp womp, fop. Sorry, wrong one. We'll put it there. Oh, sorry, I need to read the card first. Fop, wielding your deadly sphincterator pistol, you sphincterate yourself. Oh my. So he's sphincterated himself and is banished. He's banished to a yellow dome. And so he can go either here, here, or all the way up there. And I think Team White would like him to be, as far away from possible as anything else. He can do the least damage over there. So he's curled up in a fetal position inside that dome, reconsidering his life choices. So that's it for the adventuring, and that's it for turn 7. Quite a lot of things happening, and a lot of things still sort of bring up here, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen turn 8. If you've noticed I've made any mistakes, then please do let me know in the comment section down below. And please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And until next time, I'm your host, Craig Thompson Wood, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.